You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotimus truly has the touch.
Yeah!
This is Optibotimus going with another video review. And today, thanks to the folks at AcesToyStore.com, we'll be taking a look at the Dr. Wu Prime swords, specifically the Prime one and the Nemesis Prime one, I'm guessing. As you can see, these are the little packaging form, not really much. They just kind of slide in here. You can open it up and shoop, you get one slid in there, and you get another one slid in here. As you can see, you got Dr. Wu. Flip around here on the back. It says, warning, please check the instructions before using this product, although there aren't really instructions. Choking hazard, small parts, although there really aren't small parts unless you count the entire thing. And it's not suitable for children under 3 years old. Okay, sure, but there's the packaging, and here you see them. You got Optimus Prime holding one, you got Megatron holding the other. Now, these are basically recreations of the Star Saber. Now, a little bit of a history lesson for you guys. Now, in the days where Primus and Unicron were battling each other, Primus created the original 13 Primes, one of which was their leader, Prima. Now, Prima was bestowed with the Star Saber sword itself. Now, the sword was a weapon that was unlike anything other. This thing was powerful enough that it could basically wipe out stars and planets. Now, for the most part, it's generally believed that for some unknown reason, more than likely to prevent it from going into the wrong hands, it was split into 5 different pieces. And another Prime, Nexus Prime, was entrusted to use his very body to actually conceal the pieces. And then to keep that from ever actually having any kind of problem, because you could capture one person and say, tell me where the pieces are. What Vector Prime and Alpha Trion did was they actually used the blades of the sword to split Nexus Prime into 5 separate pieces. So the sword was split up, the person who knew about the sword was split up, and these pieces of Nexus Prime basically became 5 individuals of their own, and each of them hiding the knowledge of each piece of the actual Star Saber sword. Now that's the general continuity for it. The Star Saber is reappearing in Transformers Prime, but this particular design is based off of this image that I'm going to show you right here. As you can see, that's Prima actually holding the Star Saber. And one of the pieces of the Star Saber is actually the Matrix of Leadership, which is embedded in the hilt of the sword itself. Now, furthermore, as I said, Prima was the first and basically the leader. And that being said, Transformers who claim Prima in their actual history, like their lineage, possess what's called a Primian polarity, which basically means somebody who is able to wield the power of this, who is essentially a Prime, such as Optimus Prime. Now, there's a little bit of a history lesson for you guys, and where these swords basically come from. Now, starting things off first, we're going to take a look at really kind of the best one, at least in my opinion, and that being the Prime one. The amazing thing about this is all metal. Everything on here, with the exception of this jewel, the actual blade is metal, the hilt is metal, everything. This is all metal, and I absolutely dig it. When you zoom in, you can see that this is actually chrome plated, so it makes it very shiny, and I get my fingerprints all over. But this is absolutely gorgeous, so very nice, and you can see the Matrix actually embedded in there, and that's where that blue jewel comes from. But this is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful sword, and very pointy. So don't point this at people, it could be dangerous. But this thing is wicked awesome, and it definitely does, well, it has a resemblance to what we're seeing in the new Transformers Prime cartoon, but it has its own unique look. As I showed you, it's based off of that image that I showed you previously. But this thing is absolutely phenomenal looking. While I'm not 100% sure exactly in terms of like millimeters and things like this. This sword will fit into a figure that is much like classic Optimus Prime. It fits in there nicely and absolutely looks awesome with them. Now, with the first edition Optimus Prime, as you can see, the hand is opened up, so he does still hold it, but it's not as 100% secure as a completely round hand would be. So that's definitely something to take into consideration, but I just love the way that this looks. Now, in addition to Optimus Prime, I also have the purple version, which is, I believe, more or less designed for Nemesis Prime, because as you can see, you got this purple jewel here in the center, and this is an absolutely beautiful looking sword as well. The actual gray bit on here, as you can see, here, let me get this out. You can see that there is a difference here, at least in terms of the hilt area, where this one is kind of, I don't even know what color. This is more of kind of like a silver, where this is more of a gray color. And obviously, you can see the purple jewel as opposed to the blue one. But, I mean, regardless, it's an absolutely wonderful looking piece. Absolutely wonderful. But having Megatron hold it is a little bit more difficult because his hand is a whole lot more open. So he can't really hold it very well. This is kind of how I position him, where it looks like he's pointing it kind of at something. That's the best way that I can actually have him hold it. That's just because his hand isn't open in the right way. But as you can see, guys like the classic Optimus Prime and Megatron both hold this absolutely wonderfully and look awesome doing it. This is a third-party add-on thing, which absolutely blows my mind. Now, the unfortunate thing is the Optimus Prime version with the blue jewel is sold out just about everywhere. If you didn't pre-order this, chances are it's going to be very hard to get your hands on it. But if you want the purple version, which, as I said, works nicely with Nemesis Prime, or even Megatron in this case, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. It'll take you to Ace's Toy Store, and you'll be able to pick this up. At only like $12 or $13, I think, this is an outstanding piece to have in your collection. As I said, all metal, beautiful craftsmanship on it, and would look great on any number of figures. But that's about it, guys, so I want to thank you again for tuning in, and until next time, this has been optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.